Everyone, welcome back to the Maverick channel. Now I bring you some major updates. Some interesting stuff is happening. First of all, if you're new to this channel, we talk about cryptocurrencies and all kinds of crypto content, whether stretching from DeFi, play to earn, staking your tokens, delegating NFTs, and all these kinds of things. We talk about that kind of stuff. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button because it's helpful for the growth of this channel. Now, today we have some major updates that have been announced by Fetch.AI, because that's what I want to focus on today. It's a mashup, it's a mixture of the integration with Osmosis, the Osmosis ecosystem, the Cosmos ecosystem, the inter-blockchain communication ecosystem. Now, proposal 4 and 5 by Fetch.AI, this is a staking blockchain, which means you can have proposals and you can have people voting on these proposals, then you can implement them later. So there was proposal 4 and 5. Proposal 4, planned network upgrade, will happen today at 14 UTC. This was announced yesterday. UTC, the chain will be live and operational with the upgrade to Cosmos SDK version 0.45 and IBC version 2.25. So the Fetch network needs to upgrade to a software development kit that depends on the Cosmos ecosystem, as well as they need to upgrade to the basically the Cosmosm ecosystem, which is the software that allows people to interact with the Cosmos ecosystem smart contracts. So implementing this upgrade allows them to channel into things like the inter-blockchain communication protocol, especially the version that they're upgrading to. Then the proposal 5, so basically that was just upgrading the network so that they can tap into this interoperability standard on the Cosmos ecosystem that affords blockchains that use the consensus algorithm of the Cosmos ecosystem. Now, proposal 5, this means that the state.tax team will be receiving funding from the community pool for their work on integrating Fetch.AI into their platform that increases CSV tax forms from transactional history just in time for tax season. So they've implemented this because the nature of Fetch.AI is that these guys are building artificial intelligence for everyone. What does that mean? They have these data modules. Within these modules, you can manipulate software so that these agents, which they're now calling digital twins, they were formerly known as autonomous economic agents, they're now known as digital twins. Basically, you can change any kind of code within these agents and you can start them or spawn them by using the Fed tokens. So if you go through their website, of course they take you through a process of where to get the Fed tokens. They kind of talk about some of the partnerships they've had in the past, where to get the tokens. You can see Coinbase and some of these platforms actually list the native Fed tokens. So not just the ERC20, so the tokens on Ethereum, but they also list the native ones that basically are transacted on the Fetch.AI main blockchain. But we know these tokens are also on the Binance Smart Chain, so they're interoperable in that standard as well, which is extremely important for the kind of ecosystem they're building. So you can buy the tokens on Coinbase, Binance, Gemini. These are the biggest exchanges essentially: Crypto.com, CoinSuper, Corbit, KuCoin, MXC, BitMax, Warzak. So these are important and strategic partnerships, and as well you can actually look at their partnerships on their website, like Coinbase, Binance, which essentially help them launch on the Binance Launchpad, Gemini, Bosch, a multi-billion-dollar company, Festo, another multi-billion-dollar company that's really innovative in the space of manufacturing, and Bosch in the space of autonomy, and Outlier Ventures, which is, these guys are pretty much strategic partnerships when you stretch as far as delegation, validation, NFT space, and expanding into the cryptosphere. These guys, they go all out into expanding all kinds of ventures in the crypto space, and they also act as venture capitalists. So you can see that all these are strategic partnerships that Fetch.AI has acquired. So now going back to the digital twins, what is the purpose of encapsulating this data into digital twins? When you do this, you can do a couple of things, and I can show you as an example. They've launched products that we're going to look at, but before we get into that, this network upgrade that you're looking at has enabled some of the partners, other strategic partners that are building on the Fetch.AI blockchain, to then upgrade their networks. Like, for example, this application, you can download this application, and through the use of this application, exactly, they have an Android version and an Apple version. So they also made an announcement as a consequence of this upgrade. Now, this is just an example. How to claim your converted Mobix miles. So this application allows you to, they support micromobility infrastructure, or basically vehicles that don't use fuel. So maybe electricity, these things don't pollute the environment. Now, when you use these vehicles, you get what we call miles, like what you would get when you fly a plane. So you get these miles, and then now they've implemented a feature where you can go convert these miles into the Fetch.AI tokens, which is pretty interesting. But that's just one use case of an outsider sort of using this technology. But as a consequence of using this technology, there's a bunch of things you can build. You can build agents that can allow you to communicate with, for example, an airline company or a hotel, where your agent communicates with their agent. They negotiate a transaction, they book you a room at a particular time with a particular view, with a particular temperature, a particular place. So this is the intent or the intention of these agents. Now, as a result, there's a lot of things that can be done. Of course, you can change the type of code that you can implement into these agents that can be used in manufacturing and all kinds of spaces. You can use them in DeFi, machine learning, because they're implementing a machine learning model. And you can also use these agents in supply chains, finance, and all kinds of things, traditional finance as well. Now, they have something called an agent manager. With an agent manager, it's a software, I guess, because they're doing network upgrades, you might find it a bit jittery here and there, but you can download this agent manager and you can actually use it to create agents really easily. So you don't have to have like an interface, a terminal to type in commands, but you can also manipulate the code of these agents using the manager. And guess what? You can actually register these agents, and you can come to this platform. This is AEA registry.fetch.ai, where you can view some of the agents that have been listed on their ecosystem, which is pretty cool. And that we don't just stop there, guys. You can see a map, which is the simple OEF Explorer. Now with this Explorer, you can actually view the physical agents and where they are, and you can zoom in and out and view these agents with their location, different locations, and what they're up to. And I can show that to you. Now, as a result of these network upgrades, all of this is possible. You can zoom in to see multiple agents, for example, within this location. I guess it shows the number 2, and then you zoom in more, 4, and then you zoom in more. In certain areas, you see multiple agents forming within this cluster. So sometimes you have agents clustered in certain areas, but this is essentially when you zoom out the map of the world, and you can see multiple agents located in multiple areas. We have this 14 here, 5 here, 25 there, and they color coded to mean different things. Of course, this is for you guys to explore. This is an extremely new technology, and there's a lot of exciting stuff that can be done with stuff like this in the physical world and in the virtual world, because this is code, and this code can interact either way as long as the infrastructure is there. Now, this network upgrade, it means that your Fed tokens can no longer, not only do they, of course, have the ERC20 standard on Ethereum and the Binance Smart Chain and stuff like that, but now these tokens can actually interact with the Cosmos blockchain, which is the consensus algorithm that Fetch.AI uses anyway, which is the Tendermint algorithm, and they've implemented the software development kit as we've done. Now you'll be able to, actually, now they've upgraded, now you'll be able to, they'll announce soon to bring your Fed tokens here. And not only that, guys, you'll also be able to, by the way, the state.tax website looks like this. So you can type in your address and you can calculate your taxes against based on your staking rewards. So depending on your jurisdiction, if you're a business, this could be really, really helpful. So when you get your Fed tokens, you can then bring them here, and also the Mobix tokens we talked about. Now that you can convert these Mobix miles into tokens, because Fetch.AI is going to upgrade, and because basically these Mobix people built on Fetch.AI, they'll be able to both bring their tokens on decentralized exchanges such as Osmosis. Now you're earning staking rewards from staking Fetch.AI, you're earning Mobix rewards from using this micromobility infrastructure, and then you're getting these tokens and adding liquidity onto the Osmosis DEX, and guess what? You're receiving rewards for doing this thing. So this upgrade is extremely important, guys. It's extremely important. And those that do not know, the Osmosis DEX basically is built on the Cosmos blockchain, which means each cryptocurrency you're seeing here is a sovereign blockchain of its own, which means they can interact with each other, because basically that's the idea of Cosmos, inter-blockchain communication. So we've talked about state.tax. All these upgrades, what's interesting is that all these upgrades literally put them back onto their roadmap. Rather, not back, but they maintain their strategy, they maintain their MO, they maintain what they wanted to do, and they're covering it quite nicely. They want to do a developer portal. If you follow this network roadmap that they're looking at, Q1 to Q2, ecosystem development. So they've by the way, recently acquired a $150 million funding round with an exchange which is extremely bullish, which means they have money to fund projects that are within their interest. Now that all fits into ecosystem development. We have the Ledger mainnet upgrade, which they followed up on really nicely, as you can see, with the upgrades we're seeing. And then other upgrades are going to come as well, because they're looking at things like multi-signature wallets, so multiple people can sign transactions to increase security. We're looking at things like decentralized autonomous organizations. We're looking at agent-based oracles, because what they're building, these digital twins, they're essentially agents, and they collect data. Because they collect data, you can use them as oracles to collect price feeds for different use cases, which is, so these network upgrades are extremely important. But the decentralization aspect of it goes into the fact that they put a proposal first and the community voted yes, and then they implemented this, which is really cool. That's proof of stake network at work, or rather the idea or the infrastructure. So DeFi agents, we've talked about DeFi agents. These are extremely important, and they actually created a platform with DeFi agents, which works. You can use it on Uniswap, you can use it on PancakeSwap, on Binance Smart Chain, and guess what? With the network upgrade, you now will be able to, in the future, use this on the Osmosis DEX. Guys, this right here will be one of the most transformational products that Fetch.AI has built. This right here, I can bet on it. And the other one is they're building this thing called the collective learning. You can learn more about their collective learning suite on their website. They have a ton of information about it, and some of the other products that they're talking about. If you're not too sure, they have developer documents as well that can help you understand that better. But essentially, collective learning brings machine learning. What you're seeing here, basically what they're saying here, artificial intelligence for everyone. What collective learning does, it brings all the machine learning techniques that are required, because those that understand the space, you need an algorithm, you need an input, then the algorithm calculates weights, and then you have an output on the other end. So implementing this technology within an agent basically gives it reduces the barrier to entry, which means companies don't have to hire teams to do these kind of things, but agents are pre-programmed to make these decisions, to make these calculations. And if it's an industry working with these agents can communicate with each other and then choose the best weights for the inputs and for the output that's required, which means it creates this collective effort of different companies, of individuals, of schools, institutions, whatever, anyone that wants to use it. And it makes it really easy, reduces the costs, and guys, network effect, and network effect. So the same thing I'm talking about, these two products. So the other one was collective learning suite and the bot swap, which essentially protects you from rug pulls, from all kinds of DeFi, flash loan attacks, any kind of, if in case liquidity, impermanent loss, things like impermanent loss, where your token falls and then your reward is not really worth it. One token falls in price, as a result, all your total value falls in price as well. Or one token increases in price, and a result, because it has to balance your liquidity position, it has to be balanced on a 1-to-1 ratio, it goes down in value. So that's something that we call impermanent loss, but you may have to Google or YouTube that, because you need to read something or watch something that goes into more detail about that. I've done videos in the past, but I think you might need a fresh start on that. So this network upgrade, guys, if you look beyond the surface, is extremely important, and it's going to create a lot of value/network effect for the Fetch.AI ecosystem. This Mobix application is big because it has practical use cases, and it's at a perfect time where fuel is expensive, where everyone's so concerned about the carbon effects and green effects, the effects that are being caused by global warming and so on. So this application is perfectly fit into, it's basically, the timing is perfect. You can use this application to generate miles, which miles you can then convert into tokens. And then guess what? Also, staking FET, not only will you be able to use it on the Osmosis DEX, now there's a round 2 of earning these Mobix tokens. These Mobix tokens, remember, they're going to be listed soon. They're going to be listed, which means you'll be able to trade them for other tokens. And I think they'll do this on a decentralized exchange. So guess what? Now, if you stake your Fetch tokens, so basically the platform we just talked about, you can earn these Mobix tokens. These tokens are not that easy to earn, so they're creating a second round where they'll be giving away, following the Mobix miles conversion. We would like to announce the second Mobix stake drop, 1 million Mobix tokens up for grabs, guys. Now, with the other Mobix miles conversion, guys, you have a 2 weeks period to convert your miles. Otherwise, the tokens are taken away and put back into the pool. So make sure as you collect those tokens, you prepare for this network upgrade. Make sure you get some FET tokens as well, stake them, get more Mobix tokens, and develop the strategy such that when all these decentralized exchanges open, you can exponentially increase the amount of reward you get from the network effect. That's in terms of token. But in terms of products, there's a lot of products being built as well. You can help with the development. For example, we know that Fetch.AI is building a decentralized exchange. I mean, rather a social media platform. So similar to Twitter, and you can navigate this social media platform in all kinds of ways. This is my profile, that's why you're seeing me there. But you can look at what other people posted. You can look at what you've posted. You can look at your interaction, other people's interaction. They can interact with you in all kinds of ways. They can send you tips. They can comment on your post. They can love it, they can resonate with it. So the DeFi bot, also the Resonate application, is another social media application created by Fetch, and they have other sister applications like Metalex, which is basically in derivatives and all these things, commodities, metals and stuff like that. So traditional assets of that kind, shorting and longing markets in that kind of space. And then they have other projects that they built, which is the Atomics ecosystem, which is going to launch in a couple of months, I suppose. But this product is basically allowing you to bring your real world assets, tokenize them onto the blockchain, then be able to use that liquidity for other things. When you pay back your loan, you then get back your assets. So you have your physical assets having real value that you can tap into, not just on a local scale, but on a global scale. So guys, this network upgrade is big. This network upgrade is not just look beyond the surface. You want to look beyond the surface when it comes to this network upgrade, because it's going to bring a lot to this ecosystem. All right, guys, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.